I would like to clarify a couple of things before I start. During the slideshow, we're going to see some images that are copyright. So I am using them under the universal chapter of fair use of information for educational purposes. Some images are very disturbing. I guess we all here are mature enough to face them. It's important to show them, and you will understand why. The video you just saw and the music piece you just listened to is part of my work. The video was 98 and the music piece was 1990, 20 years ago. And I am going to explain the process of evolution in my work, so you understand more or less why I'm showing this exhibition here in Fredericton, why I have done it in Vancouver, and why I did it in Manitoba, and why I'm taking it to Europe this year. For me, it's a Kabbalistic moment to be here in Fredericton in 2011, because I have achieved a very long process since the very first day I began doing the paper towels. It's Kabbalistic because I have touched the most important corners of the country. I was in Vancouver with the same show, I was in Brandon, Manitoba, and now I'm here in Fredericton, so I'm touching the Pacific, the Central, and the Atlantic. So the message is getting spread very nicely, smoothly. In 1984, my grandfather, Juan Zavaleta, suffered a stroke while I was carrying him upstairs. So he died in my arms when I was 14 years old. When that happened, I declared war against God. I didn't understand why my beloved grandfather just died in my arms, being myself so young. And it was there when I began crawling in the swamps of the human psyche. In 1985, Mexico City suffered one of the most horrendous earthquakes in human history. That put me again in the path of reality, making war with God once again. I was born and lived in Mexico City, so I saw all the death and the destruction after the earthquake. In '89, I decided to stop being a student in high school. I thought I was wasting time in academy, and I decided to become an artist at the age of 18. And I began doing, I didn't know at the moment, happenings, and entering drawing festivals, drawing contests, and began working with some works here. And during high school, I met my best friend, Enrique Villaseñor Lopez, which is also a visual artist living in Berlin now since 15 years ago or so. And together we began doing these music pieces, studying all the human concepts regarding death, regarding violence and sexuality. Mario Zaragoza joined the collective, and we put a name in the collective which was Kinich Aboa. That's the son of the god of sun in the Mayan culture. Mario Zaragoza gave us a good push because he was having resources to play with our PA and everything, and he invited us to do performances. I had no idea what a performance was at the time. And he said, just do your stuff during our parties. We're going to do back alley parties, underground parties, and just do your stuff. And Mario Zaragoza, right now, I'm happy for him because he's one of the most recognized film industry artists in Mexico. Here he is in 2009 receiving the Mexican Ariel, which is the Mexican Oscar. We began doing all sorts of back alley parties, playing our music and doing all sorts of happenings and performances. We made many in the year 1991. These are some of the pamphlets we designed for those parties. And at the very same moment, in 1991, I was invited to do some experimental videos. And in 1991, at the end of 1991, there was another group of people who began working. This is one of my first paintings. I did paintings in 1991 just to experiment. Charcoal drawings, pastel drawings. And it was in 1991 when this group of people began doing their own private performances and happenings in the remains of a psychiatric hospital. Here they are having their photographic sessions. And they, in 1991, they became the most famous art collective doing very violent performances and gaining a lot of recognition in the art context in Mexico City. I met them during one of my parties. When they saw what we were doing, they invited me to join them. I accepted the invitation and we began working. Right when they invited me, they were practicing, they were experimenting, doing installations. Like this coffin. This coffin is a real one. They went to a graveyard and they just took it. Because in Mexico, things are a little different than in Canada. We can do certain kinds of things that here is just impossible. This is my collective, our collective. This picture was taken in 1994 while preparing one of the installations that we made in that year. And I would like to take advantage of this moment to honor them, because in 2010 we achieved 20 years as collective and 10 years as a dead collective, because the collective finished in the year 2000. And here's Juan Zavaleta, which is me, Carlos Lopez, Arturo Angulo, Juan Manuel Pernaz, and Teresa Margolles. Teresa Margolles is right now the tip of the pyramid, is the most important conceptual artist in Mexico right now.